What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, to educate you on health, fitness, social well-being. And today, here with a friend, Lydia. She's gonna be helping me out today.
Hi.
And what we're basically gonna be my bad, good Lydia. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Anything at all. Anything at all. Your Instagram, your YouTube, whatever.
So this is how you market, I guess.
This is how you do it.
So my name's Lydia Gomez. You can follow me on Instagram, Lydia Gomez. Same on YouTube, Lydia Gomez. Just like me up, follow, subscribe if you like me. If not, then I don't, it's okay. Force anybody.
Not editing that, guys. We keep it transparent here. All right, so what we're gonna be doing today, guys, is I want to say maybe about a month or two ago, I did a video showing you guys adjustments you can do to some of your upper body movements in order to make sure that you avoid pain and long-term damage in your elbows and shoulders. So today, I'm going to be doing something very similar, showing you guys adjustments you can make in your lower body movements, little cues and adjustments for your squats, your sumo deadlifts, and other leg isolation movements in order to help prevent injuries in the long run and give you the most bang for your buck out of those movements. So let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to start with is the squat. So Lydia right here is going to demonstrate a poor squat, like this, one of the poorest squats you've ever seen. We're going to adjust everything that's wrong with it. Look at it. It's so bad it's hard for her to even pretend to do this. Yeah, go ahead, get a few more reps. All right, guys, so first thing that we're going to look at is, go ahead and do it one more time, Lydia. With this, you guys can see her toes are kind of like, they're not even straight forward. There's more like they're adducted inside, so like her toes are pointing towards each other. That's going to put a lot of unnecessary pressure on the knees, and unfortunately a lot of people have a tendency of squatting this way, especially when they first start. They'll get under the bar and they think, just stand straight and just squat down. But what you actually want to do is go ahead and abduct your feet a little bit. There you go, Lydia. Yeah. So she's going to angle her feet out just slightly because that's going to open her hips up more. Now widen your stance just a tad bit. And that's something, guys. Stance is going to vary from person to person. A lot of it's based off your hip build, but one thing that we definitely want is look at her feet are not angled inward. They're either gonna be straight or bring them out a little bit, or they're gonna be abducted just like that. All right, now go ahead and squat again. And back up. As you guys can see, that's not gonna put any pressure on your knees. Your knees aren't gonna cave in because it's a lot harder for your knees to cave in with your toes pointed outward, just because how you are anatomically. Now, if you have them completely straight or you have them pointed inward, that once again, that can cause a lot of knee collapse, so we don't want that. So, next thing, guys, we're gonna talk about is, because for the most part, people's lower body is easy, it's just based off their stance, but the upper body is where a lot of people mess up with their squats. So, starting off, I want you to go ahead and like squat like with a weak core, like with your back and core weak. There you go. So you guys see how her lower back is like giving on her as she goes down, and it's almost become like a good morning as she comes up. Once again, this is one of the biggest things that hinder people in their squat, especially when they get to that halfway mark. They go down fine, but when they come up, it becomes a good morning. A lot of pressure on their lower back. So what we're gonna do is, Leah, I want you to squeeze your back tight, keep that chest up, and now squat. Boom. And you guys can easily see the difference. Do it again, Lydia. Because now her lower body's stable, but her upper body is stable. So a lot of people forget with their squats is that the squat is a full body movement. And we're working a little bit of everything, especially that core and back. So let's do it again, Lydia. This time, show. Now come back up, and I want you to do it with a weak core. So you guys can see lower back rounding. Then she comes back up. Now do it correctly, back tight. And you guys can see her back's actually tightening up. It's like she's squeezing the bar against her back. All right, core tight back, now go ahead. And you guys can see that difference. Of course, stays nice and tight. Go ahead. There we go, good. So there's a little thing for that. Now, another thing that you guys have asked me about is simply that the pelvic tilt at the bottom that a lot of people have. Now, I don't know if Lydia will be able to actually fake this, like where you have the little butt wink, just because she actually has very good hip mobility, but that's pretty much what it is, guys. Whenever it comes to the squats, it's really just a matter of your hip. You can do it? All right, I think she can do it. She's gonna try to fake it, guys. She's gonna try to fake it. Let's see, go ahead. See if you can get that butt wink going on. There we go, that's it, that's it. Do it again, do it again. Boom. So as you guys can see, she's got that butt wink going on, right? Now, Lydia, if you can, I want you to describe to them what you're doing right now in order to cause like that butt wink. What's happening? What did you change from your usual?
I'm just kidding. So, basically, when you go down, when you do the butt wink, you feel like your glutes are kind of going in. You know what I mean? Like you're in when you actually have to just keep it straight.
Yep, nice and tight, bro. Well.
you know, use your quads to kind of help you.
Yeah, so a big part of that, guys, like I said, is gonna be weaknesses in the hips and then the glutes. But as you learn to work on your hip mobility, and then as your glutes just get stronger in general, that helps alleviate the butt wink a lot. And actually, Omar Yusuf actually just did a really good video on this. So since this video isn't just over that topic specifically, I'll actually link that in the description down below. I think that'll help you guys out a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much the main things for the squat, guys. So going back over it again real quick, we want those feet, you want your stance to be based off your hip width. You want those feet nice and abducted so our toes aren't pointing totally straight forward. They're pointing out a little bit. We want that chest up. We want that back tight. And that's gonna help in the long run. It's gonna help us protect our knees, and it's gonna help us protect our lower back, because those are the two main areas like that tend to get injured whenever we're talking about the squats. Next, we're gonna be going with the sumo deadlift. The reason I'm not going over the conventionals because I already have a full tutorial and breakdown video over that. You guys can check that out. I'll link in the description down below. And don't judge Lydia for having the 10. She and I actually just finished the workout, and this is just for demonstration purposes. But all right, so common mistakes that we see with the sumo. Bruno, get out the way. Move.
He wants attention.
Move, Bruno. I'll give you attention later. All right. So common mistakes, guys, that we see with the sumo. Bruno.
His feet so
Bruno.
deep.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm having technical difficulties. Like, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right.
Okay.
All right. So first thing I see with the sumo deadlifts, guys, a lot of people, they pull it like conventional. They'll get in the sumo stance, which Lydia's in, but then they'll try to pull it like a conventional. See? All pretty much just using their back. This kind of takes away from the whole point of using a sumo, which for powerlifting purposes is cutting the range of motion, but then also targeting the glutes and hamstrings more. You take that away when you're lifting it like so. So what you wanna make sure you're doing, go ahead and get like the normal sumo position, is once you have your feet placement correct, you're gonna bend down to the bar using knee flexion. So she's almost gonna squat down to the bar in a sense. There we go. Now, before she starts, she's gonna make sure she brings her chest up, back's tight, then she's gonna drag it straight up. And squeeze those glutes at the top. Boom. There we go. One more time. Boom. Just like so. And in doing so, not only is she taking her lower back out of it a little bit more, but she's putting greater emphasis on the glutes and hamstrings. Now the next thing, we actually discovered this with Lydia today, is oftentimes people will be in the correct position, go ahead and get in the correct position, but they'll be standing away from the bar. As you guys can see, there's clear space between her leg and the bar. Go ahead and pull it. And see, once again, what this does, and this is actually something that Lydia's been dealing with, is her pulls will go well, but afterwards you were dealing with lower back pain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason for that is, guys, is that the best way for the bar to travel is in a straight line. But, go ahead and pull it again, Lydia. Whenever you have the bar away from you like so, you're not pulling straight up, you're pulling up and then back. Yeah. So it's gonna put more pressure on your lower back. So what we wanna do is go ahead and step up to the bar. We wanna make sure that our shins are exactly against the bar, and then we're dragging that bar straight up. So it's almost like we're just standing straight up with it rather than bending over to pick it up. Boom. And that helps alleviate a lot of the pain right there. And then once again, guys, as far as how wide the sumo is, it's gonna vary from person to person. Some people will be as wide as Lydia is. Some people can manage to get wider. Some people may be even a tad bit closer. But the thing is, once again, it's kind of based off how you're built anatomically. One of the biggest mistakes people can make is trying to go further than what they're kind of built for and putting pressure on their hips. Go ahead and try to like widen your stance out, Lydia. Yeah, there you go. Like as much as you can. Like, yeah, I know it's uncomfortable, and I try to pull that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah. Now, how did that feel? Yeah, right there. See, and that's exactly where you'll feel the pain, guys, because it's unnatural to put that type of pressure on your body. If you want to work up to the mobility to do that for the sake of powerlifting, that's one thing, but it's something that all in all you pretty much should avoid trying to do just for the general hypertrophy purposes, because you're putting a lot of unnecessary stress. So let's show them the correct way one more time. So we got our shins completely against the bars. Once again, feet aren't pointed straight, they're abducted. Just gonna get down in position, knee flexion. Chest up, back tight, those hips stay down. Straight up, boom. Just like so, and that's the sumo, guys. So next, we are on the leg extension machine. Now, this machine is the cause of a lot of controversy, just because even though it is great for the vastus medialis, it's gonna be that teardrop muscle right here. The problem is that it tends to put a lot of pressure on people's knees as well, and just because it's the only muscle that's attached right to the patella, so a lot of people have a controversy of like, is it worth doing? Does it cause damage to the knees in the long run? Some people will say that it does. Some people say, oh, I've never had issues with it. But for those of you who do choose to do it, we're just gonna show you how to make sure you're doing it properly. So the biggest thing, guys, is making sure that your seat is adjusted correctly. So the main thing is, we don't want it up here on the shins. That's gonna cause pain. You basically want it right here, right above where your shoe is on the ankle. The second thing, guys, is gonna be your leg placement. As you guys can see, her knee is right over the seat. It's not too far back to where her knee's behind it. It's not too far forward to where this part of her leg is sitting over. She's right in that perfect position. So next, go ahead and do the leg extension, Lydia. She's gonna bring it up, breathe, squeeze. She's gonna control it coming back down. Again, bring it up, breathe, squeeze. Control it going back down. Now the pacing of how fast you go back down, once again, whether you do like a 2-3 second pace, 6-8 second pace isn't the main problem. The importance is having control. Now, I want you to, without hurting yourself, just kind of go wild with it, with the leg extension.
Go
a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter. Yeah, there we go. So as you guys can see, she's pretty much just bouncing it up and down. Once again, even though yes, her quads are still working, this is going to put a lot of pressure and strain on the knees, and we definitely don't want that. You want to make sure that you're controlling the movement. And the thing is, with that breathe pause at the top on the squeeze, you make sure that the quads are doing the work, and then you're controlling it going down so that it's not taking all the pressure on your knees. So just a nice, steady, controlled pace. And that's pretty much the main thing, guys. And with the leg extensions, don't feel like you have to go mad heavy. I'm a big believer with the leg extensions and progressively overloading using reps just to avoid the possible risk of what it can do to your knees. Personally, I don't even have it in my programming right now. I used to, but it just wasn't something that I wanted to risk messing with. But if you're someone who does, just make sure you're doing it nice and controlled. And that's pretty much it, a nice steady pace. Like I said, you don't have to hold it up there and pause it for like 10 seconds long or anything like that. And you don't have to do like a 10-second slow eccentric, but you just want to keep it nice and controlled. But for those of you who want alternatives and you're really trying to work on the teardrop, that vastus medialis, we're going to show you a couple alternatives. All right, so I'm sure plenty of you are familiar with just the basic step up. Go ahead and show them, Lydia, for those of you who aren't sure. So she's stepping up and she's keeping that other foot down. And, you know, people can usually like, cap dumbbells in their hand, a barbell, whichever, and they usually do, 10 to 12 each leg, whatever their preference is. And that will work your VMO. Now, however, if you're trying to make it get extra work, what you want to do is alternating. So you're going to step up, but then you're going to place your other feet on there as well, and then step back down, because step up and step downs are going to make the VMO work more than just doing a straight step up like that. So instead, she's coming up and she's coming down, just like so. And then she can switch legs, do that one first. Just like so. So for those of you, if you don't even want to risk worrying about like the leg extensions at all, you can do step ups like this, stepping up and stepping down. And that's a great alternative for it. Next, we're going on the lying hamstring curl. And this is something, guys, that I see both on the lying hamstring curl or the leaning hamstring curl, all types of hamstring curls. So go ahead and do it, Lydia. So as you guys can see, shortening that range of motion, right? She's not coming all the way up and she's barely coming all the way down. Now, I want you to come all the way up, but not all the way down. So as you guys can see, she's coming all the way up, she's not quite getting that full extension at the bottom. Now, this is a problem for a couple reasons, guys. Aside from the fact that you're not gonna stimulate maximum growth this way, why? Well, a full range of motion will cause the hamstrings to do more work. The reason that this can lead to injuries is because if you're over here doing squats, for example, or leg press, leg extensions, getting a full range of motion, but then you're not getting a full range of motion on your hamstrings, as I've explained in previous videos, that's going to create muscle imbalances, and muscle imbalances that are antagonistic in nature can cause pulling on your joints. For example, if you have like, a very chest dominant but a weak back, pulling on the shoulders. The same thing with the legs. When you have very strong quads but weak hamstrings, it's going to cause pulling on your knee, and also you're messing with your knee in general just from not getting a full range of motion on the hamstring. The same way that you can put pressure on with leg extension, it's the same thing. A lot of people don't mention that, but it's the same thing with your leg curls. If you're not going through a full range of motion, then you're not getting that full stretch, you're not developing the muscle as much as you could be, and you're eventually creating those imbalances. So now she's going to show you how to do it properly, coming all the way up, good squeeze, and all the way down. And once again, guys, as you can see, she's not having to hold it for like 2 or 3 seconds. Just so long as you're getting that full range of motion, you're gonna get that full stretch and full contraction. That's all it takes, that's all it is. Last thing is calves. Now, I know a lot of you feel like, what right does this man have to talk to me about my calves? But I do train them. They're not great, they're not greatly developed, but I do train them. I do hit them every other day, guys, and I've learned a thing or two in my time doing them. So what I'm about to show you guys is not only gonna help you with maximizing hypertrophy in the calves, but it's gonna help you avoid damaging that Achilles, because a lot of you think you're working your calf, but really you're just working the tendon. So I'm gonna have her show you what I see a lot of you guys doing. Go ahead, Lydia. See that? Just a bunch of bouncing. First of all, the calf's not doing much work, but right here, this is. Do you feel it on there right now, Lydia? Yeah, that's all that is. You see a bunch of pressure right there on your Achilles, and you don't want that, guys, because one, you're shortchanging your calves. Two, that's gonna hurt you in the long run when you're trying to run, sprint, jump, etc. Now, show them the correct way. So once again, guys, range of motion is the name of the game. She's coming all the way down, those heels are coming down, all the way up on her toes. All the way, heels coming down, all the way up on her toes. Controlling the eccentric, exploding on the concentric. Control and explode, full range of motion. And that's it, guys. Something as simple as that, and this is what tempo is really for. A lot of you take it so far with things like, you know, you want to do like these 20-second holds and like these 10-second eccentric tempos, but all it is, if you're going through a nice full range of motion, control the eccentric, explain the concentric, then you're good. Something as simple as that will not only, once again, maximize your hypertrophy training in your calves, but it's going to keep you from hurting your Achilles in the long term. All right, guys, so just want to say thank you to Lydia for helping me out. It was a lot easier to get this done, not having to set the camera up on myself and then do a voiceover, so I greatly appreciate her assistance. Going to go ahead and close this out. Oh, my bad, go ahead, do that. I think they missed that. Go ahead. Boom, there you go. I got to go ahead and close this out real quick. All right, guys, so that is it for this video. I hope it helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions right now, leave a comment down below. And furthermore, if you guys want me to go into detail on any specific lift, whether it's the squat, the sumo deadlift, you want a full tutorial, go ahead and let me know, and I will definitely do that for you guys. Appreciate you guys as always. Appreciate your support. Appreciate the patience. I know I said I was going to do this a while ago, but I just wanted to make sure that I thought about, all right, what's some of the common errors and mistakes that people make with some of these. So once again, if you need any clarification, go ahead and let me know. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below. Let me know that you did. If you did not enjoy the video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what I can do to get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch y'all later.